IDIS. You know, we've had problems. They'll come to us. That's what the whole purpose of it for. And whether Lacey is the secretary or whatever, the process is supposed to come before us. That's how it's supposed to work.
And you can determine how.
Right, and we would determine. So, Mr., would you make that suggestion to, they can come on the personal appointment, that they do that? Okay, so we don't have to have an argument over it, okay?
Sure, but I'm sure that I don't have to tell anybody in this room that there's no one in this room that has appointing authority.
Okay, okay.
So you have my commitment, but I'm not in control.
So, Madam President, maybe we can send a memo or something up there saying that you know, we'll call a special meeting and just have a dialogue and we'll approve it, okay? So let's move on, okay? Nita, where we at now?
Number 15,
Okay.
eliminate swap pay. And that started on May 15th.
And I think it was said that we would save about 24,000 and 26,000 if we eliminate that.
It's in here. We'll see it back in the
Okay.
forecast.
All right.
In your appropriate.
Okay,
And-
you want to go to 16 now?
Reduce hours citywide. And I think you know that speaks for itself.
Right. Any questions on that, anyone? Okay, let's move on. Okay.
Okay, the next 11 items are different ideas. Okay, other actions. We don't know how much money it's going to save. We don't know how much money it'll bring in, but they're different ideas that the city is exploring.
I had a question, and maybe the council president might want to say a little bit. When I was looking through some of the documents, and I didn't completely look at it, because at home, you get distracted, and you get phone calls all the time. And I picked it up last night and looked at a little bit of this, but what caught my eye was surplus supplies, and like supplies in the council, and professional line item, I think all that was cut. Is this included in this, or this is a different situation?
No, this
Okay.
is completely updated.
Okay. Now, you said 25% city surplus revenues will be transferred to reduce. What do you mean by that?
If the city should come into that sale of that cell tower,
Okay.
let's use it to reduce the deficit. Let's not use it to buy new things.
Okay.
Let's use it to get rid of the debt we have.
Let's go to number 2. Okay.
This is just to make sure that finance stays on task, because when we got here, there were some things that needed caught up, and everything's good now. All receipts and disbursements are accounted for monthly, and they are. They were reconciled, everything's good. But we just want to make sure that this is in the plan to make sure it continues.
Number 3.
Before any big things happen, before you go and hire a bunch of people, before you go and buy anything new, talk to the financial supervisor, you know, before you go and change some big, like you switch your garbage thing, let's run the numbers, we'll help you run the numbers. That's what we do, is run the numbers, and we can't do that if we don't know about it.
Number 4. If anyone want to have a question, just jump in.
Number 4 kind of goes hand in hand with number 1. If we get some sale of property, we get any more monies, we're getting rid of those old bills and we're paying down the debt.
Number 5.
Number 5, this is something that the city did when they were in fiscal emergency last time. It's local government borrowing. And Ohio Revised Code 118 allows the city to do that when you're in fiscal emergency. What this would do is it would allow the city to borrow a certain amount of money. What the city would have to use that money for is to pay all those old bills. You've been hearing us talk about accounts payable until, you know, and reduce those deficit funds.
Well, let me ask you and your associate and Mr. Johnson, how you guys feel about the city borrowing? How you guys feel about that at this point?
I think we've worked out a plan that should work. You know, we're going to pledge our local government funds to retire that debt, which is what we did the last time.
Right.
And I think that our estimates are reasonable. And over a 7-year period, we should be able to retire this debt.
So
It's
you're
$1 million
projected
a year for 7 years.
7 years. Anita and your associate, I forgot your name.
Tisha,
Okay, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's a good idea. It gets the city hopefully whole again, but there's still a lot of work to do. We still have work to, bring some more revenue into the city, but this helps us get on our way, gives us a little bit of hope.
And you say the interest rate is 4.30, I see.
And when we get to the numbers, you'll
Mhm.
kind of see how the influx will bring the city back to reset to 0, but you'll still see some additional things that the city needs to do to stay on the black. But we'll get to that in the numbers.
Okay. All right, thank you. Number 6.
There's a lot of grants out there and a lot of different monies available. So I think what the city is hoping to do is to reach out and try to get some monies to get an economic development director for the city, to try to bring some new business in.
Any questions? Okay, number 7.
We've been told that the fire department's equipment needs an upgrade. So the city is going to pursue some grants out there to try to upgrade the equipment.
Ms. Robert Thomas, Council President, we get some donation of some kind of
We
vehicle?
got a truck,
A truck?
fire truck. Huh?
Rescue supply?
From the, I think, what was from the Cleveland Heights? Or the Shaker. Shaker.
Number 8, that's going to be interesting, to suspend the payment of the audit committee.
All the cities have audit committees. I mean, whenever you have an audit, they tell you to have an audit committee. But in all the other cities that we've been to, nobody gets paid for it. It's voluntary until East Cleveland, and East Cleveland pays for it. So I know it's probably a small amount of money, but that's every
So,
little bit helps.
Basically, what you're talking about, how much money will move on. All right.
That'll make Miss Fanny happy.
Okay. Okay.
Before we move on,
Okay,
before
Mr.
we
King.
move on, and I don't want you to sound like a broken record, because I've heard you say this, it's at least the third or fourth time you said it. Can you tell us one more time what the audit committee does?
The audit committee works as a big picture kind of thing with the finance director, with council, to talk about different audit issues at the city that perhaps come up. That's pretty much it.
Sort of like a little watchdog.
Are they doing
Small
as
watchdog.
a small watchdog? And they're going over the books that you're going over. Do we need an audit committee?
That's what they're
That's in
saying.
the charter.
If it's in your charter, like I said, a lot of cities have them, like to kind of work with finance to assist them if they can. But it's really high level in most cities, just going over the audit, answering any questions, going through that once or twice a year.
It doesn't hurt to have a little.
I would probably.
But see,